The final week in Class 4A, Hillcrest looking to lock up the region for the second year in a row. The Woodmont Wildcats standing in their way. Class A playoffs already starting. Christchurch, the Cavs, 50 games in a row, looking for another state title. And our game of the week takes us to Greer, where the Yellow Jackets look to knock off the Clinton Red Devils in their first playoff game. 1-2-3A playoffs. It's yours right now on Friday Night Blitz. All right, welcome into week 11 of Friday Night Blitz right here on Fox Carolina. Hey there, I'm Aaron Cheslock. First week of the playoffs for a lot of local teams in classes 1, 2, and 3A. And 3A is what we'll start with our game of the week brought to you by Bojangles, a big 3A matchup in Greenville County. Greer-Clinton facing off in the first round. Earlier this season, the Yellow Jackets making it 5 straight wins over the Red Devils. Fox Carolina's Adrian Acosta in for Chris Scott tonight, joining us from the sidelines at tonight's big matchup. Adrian, Greer's undefeated. Could they hold off the Red Devils?
Well, let me tell you, talk about a daunting task for the Clinton Red Devils. Let me tell you, Aaron, I've been to bigger stadiums, but none as hostile as this one for an away team to try to come in here and get a victory. Plus, you're talking about one of only 8 undefeated teams left in the state and a team that's already beat Clinton on this very same field early on in the season. But despite that, Aaron, Clinton really came to play tonight. 4 days away from Veterans Day, and lots of love for the vets from the Greer cheerleaders, but not a lot of love for the Clinton Red Devils under that daunting water tower. And early on, it was clear what Clinton wanted to do. Run, 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 and when that didn't work, just keep on running it. Clinton chews up a lot of clock, but puts up no points. Now Greer gets the ball, and they're a different beast altogether. Mario Casano looks downfield, gives our camera a scare, and Dorian Lindsay gives the Clinton defense a scare with this touchdown run down the sideline, putting Greer up 7-0 early on. But finally, that running game does break through with this counter draw to V. Thompson, who takes it outside and down the sideline for a 45-yard run, setting Clinton up deep in Greer territory. And when you run it all the time, nobody's looking past except the tight end, Chandler Todd, who catches this touchdown from Charlie Craven. Gets Clinton back into the game. They missed the extra point, 7-6. And you got to give a lot of credit to the Clinton defense. They had Mario Casano off his game. Here, Tay Cook, a wide receiver. Look at the footwork. Keeps that foot in there, keeps Greer out of the end zone, gets the ball back for the Red Devils. And here, Cusano's going deep again. And this time it's Lamonta Simpson with the interception. Once again, keeping Greer off the board and keeping this game close. I told you the game was close. It ended up being 17-13 with Greer pulling it out, and it really came down to the wire. Big win for the Greer Jackets. Now, we tried to talk to Coach Will Young, but he was a little excited. He wanted to be with the team, understandable. So we've got the team's number 2 biggest fan, Greer High School Principal Marion Waters. What do you think about tonight's win?
Outstanding win for the Yellow Jackets tonight. Tip our hat to the Red Devils. They played an outstanding game. Typical Greer Clinton game, hard fought, intense and close. So we were very fortunate to prevail in the win this evening.
Now, of late, you guys have really been blowing teams out. Do you think a close win like this helps you in the playoffs because the competition's only going to get tougher?
It definitely will help us. That was tough tonight. When plays had to be made, they were made. Our coaches performed well, our players performed well, and it will be a good win for us as we move into the next round.
And I don't know if you heard me talking about it, but I said this place is hostile. Tell me what it means to have these playoff games here at home, and you guys had a huge turnout, big student turnout.
It's always good to play at home. We have an outstanding band, our cheerleaders, our fans, some of which have been attending games here for more than 50 years. It's just an exciting atmosphere, and it will only get better as we advance in the playoffs.
Well, Principal Waters, thank you for your time. Good luck in the next game. And Aaron, that next game is going to be against BHP. They beat Camden tonight. BHP is 8-3. Aaron, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Adrian. That'll be a big one to keep track of next week. And we're going to stay with 3A playoffs. We're going to stay with undefeateds as we head over to Wren, going head-to-head with the Pickens Blue Flame, a team the Hurricanes knocked off in Week 4.
Playoffs? You talking about playoffs?
Oh, how we miss Jim Moore press conferences. And yes, we are talking about playoffs. Second player of the game, Wren already running wild. Kelly Bryant, Bailey Rogers, both former players of the week. 52-yard hookup makes it a quick 7-0 lead for the Hurricanes. 14-0 now, a little later in the first. This time, it's Nathaniel Aquari. And Aquari dodging tacklers. He'll go 60 for 6. 21-0 already. Pickens just trying to weather the storm at this point. Still in the first. This time it's Bryant. And he'll tell Aquari, anything you can do, I can do just a little better. The Clemson commit showing up the 60-yard run with a 65-yard scamper of his own. The undefeated Hurricanes blow right past Pickens. 56-13 Wren. Really good playoff matchup between Broome and Emerald tonight. First meeting in 3 years. First quarter, J.P. Parker hit at the line, taken back to the 20. Not a good start there. Emerald here. Isaiah Brown from the shotgun. Fires to Marquez Mosley, and Mosley goes in for the touchdown. That makes it 14-7. This kid, he's dancing better than anyone else in our newsroom, Ken. Broome out the ball now. 5 to go in the half from the 30-yard line. Quick pitch to Desmond Anderson. He scores. Broome, as they do, using the option all night, but not enough to knock off the Vikings at home. Emerald moves on 28-14. Daniel taking on AC Flora in Richland County. Guess who? Dabo Sweeney checking out his son on the Lions. Flora getting off to a hot start here. First quarter, it's scoreless. Brendan Green in for the short touchdown. Falcons up 7-0 early. Take it to the second quarter now. Flora now up 10-0. Another TD. Green again. The Lions absolutely stunned. Later in the second, 24-0 now. Green fumbles it. Daniel would recover. Jordan Dunkley will take it all the way back to the Falcons' end zone for the touchdown. That shortens the lead to 24-7. But Daniel ends up falling. A year after going to the state title game, the Lions season comes to an abrupt end. 37-14 to AC Flora. Time to check in with the McKinney Dodge Chrysler Jeep scoreboard. A final in overtime. Seneca over Chapin. South Point blanks Blue Ridge 56-0. Camden going up against BHP. Of course, Camden getting in after the high school board ruled that way. BHP makes short work of their playoff run, 28-9. Chapman falls to Lancaster, 26-20.
We're just in the playoffs, baby! Woo! Woo!
Moving down to 2A playoffs now. The Wolverines out on a full moon. Number 7 Powdersville versus number 2 Woodruff. All right, first quarter here. Kevin Gist to Corey Moats, 21-yard touchdown, 7-0 Woodruff. Kevon Gist coming back here. He rolls out and fires a 27-yard pass here to Keith Pearson. The Wolverines rolling early. It's 14-0. Here's Gist again. Looking for Pearson again. Another touchdown, their third of the night, 66 yards on that one. 21-0 Woodruff at the half. Take it to the third quarter now. Powdersville, you figured they'd put up a better fight than this, and here they come. Wesley Turner gives it to Jacoby Buford. Buford runs it in for the touch, 21-7, the lead getting cut. Woodruff trying to come back. Gist looking for Brandon Stites here. Nice pump fake. Got our cameraman for a little bit there. He'll go 61 yards for the touchdown. 28-7, Woodruff. Powdersville trying to come back. Wesley Turner searching. Gets picked off by Stites, and he'll take it in for the pick 6. Woodruff will continue their playoff run. They down Powdersville 42-27. All right, more 2A action. Chesterfield and Chesney. First time in 4 years. Chesney downs them 55-40. Abbeville over Batesburg Leedsville 34-20. Pendleton taking on Strom Thurmond for the first time. They make it count 49-14. 4-seed Central hosting the 5-seed Keenan in D2, 29-26. Keenan, your final. Newberry, Indian Land. Newberry, 52-10 winners there, 96-35-21 over Sharrah. Mid-Carolina falls to Fairfield Central to wrap up your 2A scores. 55-14. All right, we have plenty more still to get to on Friday Night Blitz. Still Class A's playoffs, including Christchurch looking for another state title. Remember, they're riding that 50-game winning streak. Plus 4A action, regular season wrapping up. Woodmont at Hillcrest, the Wildcats trying to stop a 5-year skid to Hillcrest. Could they hang on in tonight's big matchup? In Spartanburg, invading JL Man for the first time in 9 years. The Vikings coming off 4 straight wins. Can they keep that trend going? That and more yours. Straight ahead on Friday Night Blitz.
Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week is brought to you by Bojangles. Friday Night Blitz Scoreboard is brought to you by McKinney Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep.
All right, welcome back to Friday Night Blitz. Final week of the regular season for Class 4A, and we'll start by heading over to Hillcrest, where Woodmont hopes to stop a 5-year skid to the Rams.
Stop! And let the seniors do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Don't stop! Don't stop! Don't stop!
Senior night for the Rams. We'll start from the opening kickoff because that's when the Rams started. Seth Nichols, a senior himself, making it count. The number matching the name. Nice cutback, and he is gone. First play of the game. Usually a nickel's worth 5. This one's good for 6. Ensuing kickoff, sneaky Rams onside kick, and after a lot of deliberation and fighting, they get it. And a couple plays later, Colin Sneed will make it count, rolling out, finding Kevin Eichelberger. He'll walk in. Just within a few minutes, Hillcrest already up 14-0. A little later now, Sneed looking for more towards the sidelines. Chris Gross says, Nice pick there, keeps his feet in bounds. Woodmont making sure it pays off. Maxwell King, quick pitch to Watson Graham. Clemson should take notes on that. Check out Woodmont completing the pitch, and he'll go all the way. 14-6, Woodmont cutting into it, but the Rams would turn it on from there. J.D. Bollinger balling out, a pair of touchdowns out of the Wildcat. Hillcrest claims its 2nd straight region title. An unreal job by the Rams and their coaching staff. 55-12, Rams roll. Tank down the Vikings. I like that. Spartanburg trying to ruin the party, though. First pass of the night for Austin Scott, who was top target Tavares Scott. Opening the scoring, 7-0 Spartanburg. Man coming back, Will Cannon. Jay Pinson gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. He's still not down. I called him early. Nice job by Pinson there. To the 20, though, later in the drive. Here's Cannon to Tyrico Miles. And he gets in for the touchdown. All of a sudden, it's tied up. Patriots trying to make some noise here with the shocker. Vikings coming back, though. Scott, Batavian Feaster, and Feaster, arguably the best running back in the state, gets all the way down to the 11-yard line. It's a chore just to tackle him, and that leads to Scott. Austin taking it himself. The Vikings do, in fact, ruin the celebration at Man. Congrats to the Patriots on a great night of celebration. However, Spartanburg coming away with the win 69-20.
It's Friday Night Blitz! Go Rebels!
Wade Hampton trying to play spoilers at Burns on senior night. First quarter action here. Rajon Scott slaps the arm away there. Rebels on top, 7-0. A little bit later in the first now. Rebels still running. Isaiah Hill, beast mode. Hard to bring that guy down. Goes in for 6, 14-0. Rebels running backs looking good early. Marcus Lattimore smiling somewhere. Wade Hampton trying to ruin the fun. Jarvian Norman fighting through a couple tackles there. That sets up a Generals field goal, so it's 14-3, but Micah Young says, no mas. Young finds Najee Bowens for the touchdown, 21-3 at that point. Burns does not take their foot off the gas. They make sure they will advance to a great playoff position here, 62-9, your final.
Friday Night Blitz, Fox Carolina!
How many cheerleaders they got on the Green Wave team there? All right, first time Easy Greenville in 37 years. First play, Cardeem Hines. 65 yards for the touchdown. Remember, Greenville trying to clinch a playoff berth here with the win. Going down early, fans thinking they will win. Second play here is a sack by Longinus Nodum II from Greenville. Young kid trying to practice the punt here. All right, Easley, Dalton Black. Touchdown pass there. That makes it 32-24 is your final, as Greenville, their bid for a playoff spot comes short early. 32-24 was the final there. All right, over to Malden now, where the Mavericks take on Boiling Springs. Last year, Malden snapped a 4-game losing streak with the Bulldogs. McKinney Dodge Chrysler Jeep scoreboard. Malden can't complete the repeat. 48-17, they fall to Boiling Springs. Dorman going head-to-head with Riverside. The Warriors on their first 3-game winning streak in 5 years. That gets snapped by Dorman, 35-7. Northwestern winning 5 of their 6 games against Gaffney, 38-21 in favor of the Indians. Lawrence going to stop a 17-game skid to Greenwood, but they do not. 24-7. Greenwood, your winners. Westside TL Hanna taking the field. Hanna, 11 of 12 winners over Westside. Not tonight. 46-0 for Coach Early and company. All right, our own Kendra Kent out at this week's Game of the Week between Clinton and Greer, as always, looking for the loudest and proudest fans. So Kendra, we're getting down to the playoffs here, so I'm hoping for a playoff-themed fan. What do you got for us?
Yeah, we had to get real serious about this one. So I was scouring the stands looking for that fan that had lots of spunk, and I figured it wouldn't hurt if they were really bundled up too, and I found her. Her name's Tina Irby. Take a look. She was decked out head to toe, really wanting to stay warm, and she and her daughter both went to Greer, and she has a nephew that played on the football team. I asked her a little bit about her being such a great fan. And you come to every game?
I go to every game. I'm a true fan.
That's right, even in the cold.
Even in the cold right now, yes. Even in the cold, yes.
If you couldn't tell, she's not a fan of the cold, and she comes out here and toughs it out for her Yellow Jackets. Now, a quick little follow-up. Want to introduce you to Kaylee Hughes. She came out to see me in 2012, 2 years ago, as a newborn, and I have been following her ever since. In 2013, she came out to see me at the Daniel Greer game last year. Cute as can be. It was a little over 1 year old, running all around. And this year, she came out to see me again, so I had to feature her. She was actually my super fan last week, and she was pumped up this week about this matchup. She loved to run, loved to grab the microphone. She's going to take my job, I think, in just maybe next year, probably. She could probably, once she can form, longer sentences, I think she'll probably be out here reporting. So
a lot of people,
we've had a great. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of people say that about me, about forming longer sentences, but a lot of our games were in this cold weather, Kendra. This is something we're going to be seeing for the rest of the playoffs here.
It really looks like it. I was actually looking ahead to next Friday just because, you wonder, am I going to have to wear like 2 gloves next? It looks pretty chilly too. So, yeah, I guess it's November around here.
You almost had me with not choosing a cute fan, but you still managed to sneak one in there. Thanks so much, Kendra. All right, coming up, still got to figure out who's going to be the player of the week for Week 10. We'll find out who the fan vote went with. And still plenty of playoff action. Class A, Christchurch looking to keep the magic going. State record, 50 straight. We'll see if Dixie can swipe a victory.
Can't go anywhere. Friday Night Blitz will be right back.
Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week is brought to you by Brian Ramey and Associates Trial Lawyers.
All right, welcome back to Friday Night Blitz. Now time to get to our Player of the Week for Week 10. For the first time this year, it goes to a player out of Class A. Christchurch wide receiver Rudy Johnstone played really big in Week 10. 6 catches to go over the century mark. Hauls in 3 touchdowns. Then he adds another in the return game. 4 total scores. Good enough to take more than 75% of the fan vote. Johnstone knocks off 2 big-time running backs out of Class 3 and 4A and says it's really good representing Class A in this fashion.
It shows a lot about our fans and all the support we have from our parents and everything like that. It really just means a lot to, see that, they're out there outvoting all the other big schools with much more people than us.
From all of us here at Fox Carolina, congratulations to Rudy Johnstone, our Player of the Week for Week 10. Remember, you can vote for our Player of the Week for Week 11 and the first week of the playoffs for 1 through 3A at foxcarolina.com, and those polls open tomorrow after Fox Carolina Sports. All right, we'll stick with Class A, and more specifically Christchurch. Johnstone and the Cavs opening their playoff run at home, looking to extend their state record 50-game winning streak. They start their journey again for another state title. And they went from the get-go. Already 14-0. Andrew Slade finding guess who? Johnstone. 35 yards to the house. Crowd chanting, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. 21-0. Next Cavs possession. Slade maybe trying to do a little too much here. Picked off by Chandler Thompson. And look at the big man rumble. He could. Slade gets all the way back there to take him down. That's a heck of a tackle there. And that would hurt. They wouldn't get any points out of that possession. Can't come up empty against a team like Christ Church. And here's Slade to Johnstone again. Essentially been one long Rudy Johnstone highlight reel since we came back from commercial. 28-0 now. Slade puts the final nail in the coffin. 28-0, and they will make it 51. And you can keep on counting. 62-0. Christ Church, your winners. Last look at your McKinney Dodge Chrysler Jeep scoreboard. 5-seed St. Joseph's taking on Fox Creek in Division 1. St. Joseph's 36-35 in overtime. Wilson Elko 54-40 over Southside Christian. Keep going to Class A scores here. Ridge Spring Minetta going head-to-head with Great Falls, and they take down Great Falls 33-21. McCormick big-time winners over Whitmire 31-3. Lamar hosting North, and Lamar blasting North, sending them south 62-0. Lamar, your final there. All right, all new at 11. We're pumping the brakes on this next story. NASCAR driver Kurt Busch accused tonight of domestic assault by his ex-girlfriend. We'll dig deeper into that story coming up a little bit later in sports. All right, thank you so much for joining us here on Friday Night Blitz. We will have more playoff action from all 4 classes. It all really gets going next week. And make sure that you keep checking in with scores and updates on foxcarolina.com. If you missed your team's highlights, head over to the website. We have news and sports coming up right after this.
You woke up in the morning with initiative to move, so I make it harder. Don't hold back. If you think about it, so many people